Hello, welcome back. Colin again, the Vassal mod for Fields of Fire 1 and 2 combined. This is going to be a bit of a short one, I think. Second module, this is just going to look at some of the functionality that's available in the Vassal mod in terms of, sort of right-click features, if you like. I'm going to look at, hopefully it's a bit brighter than last time, I'm going to look at stuff that's on the terrain cards and stuff that's on the various counters. So terrain cards, as I discussed in the first one, these come on in various ways. Sometimes they come in masked with the back, and sometimes they come in open. But essentially, you've got a right-click menu on the cards. You can send them all back to the terrain deck they came from, and then you'll generally have place cover, place FoF marker, place PDF marker, and flip. Flip literally hides it, or unhides it more likely. Return to deck sends it back to its at start deck, as in this thing. And then place cover. So when you move your enemy onto a card, or you move a friendly unit and they successfully find cover, you could go up here to the marker pieces, go to cover, find your foxholes and drag it on. That's one way of doing it, if you like to do that. Or you can right click, just do place cover, and then pick foxholes from that menu, and it will put it in the middle of the card. I then, personally, the way I play it, I tend to lay it out. Some people like stacking things. I prefer to be able to see everything. So I tend to put the cover on the left, and then let me find some Germans to go on here. And then I will place the German next to the cover to show that platoon is in the foxhole. Remember, you've also got things like the not spotted marker I talked about earlier, so I'll also flag that there if they've just arrived and I've not seen them, just to remind me that I can't fire at them. So you've got the place cover. Also, the most counters have a clone thing. If you want another one quickly, you can just clone it and you'll get a second foxhole. If you want to get rid of it, you can delete them like that. So that's your place cover. That's fairly self-explanatory, I think. Place FoF fire marker. So we'll say they are spotted now. We'll get rid of that with a Control D. I can say there's a Control D key shortcut, or you can just right click it. And they're now being fired at by my unit. In fact, we can come in across here. So if this lot were here, ignore the vehicle for now, so we're going to have an H fire at it. So you could place a FoF marker of heavy weapons on that card, and again I put that over there, so then I read when I'm doing the combat resolution, I know it's a -3 against that particular counter. Just again, there's no worry about running out of counters on Vassal. You can have as many of these as you want, so you can have different rows of people in different cover and things, is the way I play it. But again, other people play it different ways. So again, just to show that, if there was another German platoon there that wasn't in cover, I would just show it like that. And actually, I would probably also put heavy weapons off against them as well. So when I'm doing this resolution, I know they get the +1 for the foxholes, but these don't. That's how I keep track. So that's your cover. You've got your FoF markers. Obviously, FoFs change. So if all of these were to become pinned, you can right click the FoF and you can replace the FoF marker with whatever you want. So you can click that to all pinned if you need to change them. Saves you just having to go and get a new one each time. So you can update those as you go along. And then the last one is place PDF marker. So this basically says place PDF on top, bottom, right, or left. So I'll place it on the right as they're over there, and it'll place this. These are rotatable. You can right click it, rotate them, and then obviously if I want to fire that way, I can do that. I will put one back facing right, and again I'll get rid of that. And then so obviously these then, if there was a card over here, these I would then flag up with these A's, automatic FoF markers against them. So yeah, so that's the functionality of the terrain cards, and then on the counters themselves. So the counters themselves, you'll notice they have quite large right-click menus on them. Differences to a standard counter that you'll get out the box are these actually have a little marker here which shows their experience level. Again, because I found that I would keep forgetting, particularly veterans, to give them their extra 1 command draw, or the green people, green sections, the -1 when trying to spot things. So this is an upfront. If you want to change them again at the start of the game, make sure you get all of them right as per the briefing book. You can do adjust experience, and this section's green, I've decided, so they can sit there. Excuse me, getting a cough today. Also, automatic weapons and various other weapon systems have an ammunition marker, this blue one here. So as I said before, you've got marker pieces here, so you can, if you really want, run the ammunition like this, and then right click, you can use ammo. You'll see this number here going down. You can do that, or on here you actually just write the so if you want to use, sorry, going back slightly, if you want to use these counters, what I would do is right click it, gain ammo. If you go 1 over the top of 8, it'll disappear. So if you like your counters nice and clean and you want to use more counters on the board, then do it that way. But if you don't want to use counters because you don't like clutter, which I don't, I use these little tabs here. And again, you can use ammo, it'll go up and down. If you go all the way down, use also a control left square bracket will make it go up down. When you get to the bottom, it'll also mark you as out of ammunition and put you back to small arms, close range. If you get resupplied at any point, you can go the other way, control square bracket up, and you can replenish your ammunition that way. So machine guns have that, some rocket launchers. So at the start of your mission, when you're setting up your board, make sure that you set all your ammo markers correctly. It's also on the artillery spotters. Again, you can use that for the number of fire missions they have available. Other things that are on counters. So again, in setup terms, you've got cycle attachment borders. So if you do this, this will give them a blue outline. So if you want all of this particular platoon to be marked as blue, this is particularly important when you're attaching sort of observers to them. But then if you want this one to be in a different platoon, you can cycle in twice and he'll be red. And again, I think you've got a few colors, yellow next, I think it's black after that. White. Of course it's not black, stupid. And then it gets rid of it. So you've got 4 colors with which you can mark around. And you can clear them if you want to get rid of them. You have a delete button, which you can just get rid of them. Place unit, you can use, again, I don't tend to use that much. And then the main ones, you got this you got finished, unfinished. This puts a line through them. You might want to use that. It toggles on and off, and it also, if you've finished and then you hit this clean up at the end of the turn, it'll automatically remove any finished. You can use that if you've somebody's out of commands or they've done everything you want them to do. I added that in one of the last ones. Worth saying as well, you are watching version 2.4.1. I put versions up fairly regularly, so by the time you watch this, this might be old and some of the functionality may have changed. The main one you get though are hit results, and the hit results are unit sensitive. So the hit results you get for a section are going to be slightly different to the hit results you get for a lat, for a single counter. So we'll do the section first, I think. So hit result, so you've been unlucky enough to get hit, you can mark up a casualty if it came up as a hit C, and what you'll see happened here, so in this stack now, you've got a casualty counter and you've got the 2-step first. What you will notice, which is something you're going to have to look after, that the 3-step was a green unit. Unfortunately, the way it works at the moment, I'm trying to fix it, it will automatically default to line. So you might just have to go back and set him back to green. Also, of course, when you've been hit, you'll be pinned. So you also have here pinned, and this, again, in the out of the box game, off. Pinned. So you'd have this counter, which you would stack on top or underneath. I found that got quite unwieldy on Vassal. I just don't like having lots of counters, like the ammo counters and the pinned and exposed. So I've done them as a tab here. Similarly, when you move, just show you now, there's an exposed marker at the bottom. So exposed gets deleted on the cleanup. Pinned doesn't. So you do have to look out and make sure that you pin your troops appropriately. This two-step one then, if he gets hit again, he gets turned into a fire team, say, you'll then see that two-step unit has now turned into 2 fire teams. It depends on the mission, on the era and the mission and the unit, what breakdown you get here. Some units retain a machine gun, some get auto, some get grenade launcher and 2 fire teams and that sort of stuff. So it depends on the particular unit you're playing at the time. And you'll notice these fire teams are green because fire teams are green flats. And then if these get hit, he might get hit back up to an assault team. So I've got pinning working automatically on some units. I can't get it on everything at the moment. Obviously, every time you get hit, make sure you go to pinned. Sometimes it does it automatically. And the assault team is line. If you're a lat, a single figure with a flip, the hit results are different. If you get hit as an ARF, these actually flip back to their own fire team counter specific, and then I think it's rule 4.2.3F. In fact, I can check that on the charts. Rally actions attempt to flip a unit with a fire team side to the front. So you could do that later in the game, and then you get this rally unflip fire team, then he'll come back to being a platoon commander. Otherwise, if he just went to be a normal fire team, you'd lose that ability. Guns will work much the same as that. They will flip to a lat side. But I had the gun on there just to show you the ammunition. And vehicles are much the same in that you've got hit and wrecked. You can turn it into a vehicle wreck, burning wreck. You have this activate, which happens during the command phase. You activate and then move and fire them in the mutual vehicle phase later in the turn. That's just there to remind you to do that. It sticks up a bit because vehicles can also be pinned, and so it shows in that way. And then the activated, you can hit it again and it will show that he's move fired. That's for the game, and again down then under cleanup, the blue bit will go, the pinned won't. And yeah, I showed you the exposed. That's on everyone. So if you move, obviously mark yourself exposed. So you're ready to get really badly hit, in my experience. And I think that is pretty much it for the terrain cards and the counters and the functionality that's in them. I'll try and make a bit more sense of that, a bit more rationally in the next video when we'll do a bit more of a mission look. Thank you very much.